Mm-hmm. No, we didn't check then. Swear to God, we finna get all this money. Watch what I tell you.
My eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean. And I say I share. I gotta say I share. I share. And I say I share. Elegba, Oshun, and Obatala. And I say I share. Mokio, I share, and I say I share, and Oya, and Shango, and Yemoja. I got it, currency in my pocket, nature around my neck, front and center I rock it. Never tuck them, so folk wanna touch them, they need to stop it. Trying to find them on lines like mine, you never cop it. My eleke is living, reason why I be winning. Jealous of my position, but I'm just at the beginning. Demonizing the forces, no intercourses I'm giving. Christians feel like I'm sinning the way the heavens be bending for me. I'm in the flow, I get the dough, I'm giving more, it's reciprocal. Every dose could be poison or be medicinal. Truth is blatant to those who know what to listen for. Yeah, a treasure chest in every mic check. Steady in the altitude and we ain't on the flight jet. Calling me the champion, I ain't even won the fight yet. Moochers sticking to us for that juju that they might get. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean. And I say I share. Somebody say I share. I share. And I say I share. Hey, Gongo, Babaluaye, and Ita. And I say I share. Mokio, I share. And I say I share. Ochosi, Ogun, and Orumila.
Got them holy beads around my neck. Them sacred guides on deck. Yep, it gets protection all around. Kosi Wahala, big blessings abound. I'm open to receive all the things this universe is laid at my feet, and I'm walking yellow brick road and laid with gold. Oh yeah, I get it from my mama, she reigning on her throne. La de Koju, Oriye Oshun, hell sweet water goddess, keep that blade and some honey. Lord, she just keep going, hard to stop when she gets started. A river flowing, anointed from head to toe, baptized. Got Orisha by my side, and my eagle all around. Ain't nothing stopping me now, full force on them, full glow on them. Spirit realm said go, so I move for them, a walking altar.
And I say I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. And I say I share. And I say I share. I share. And I say I share. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean every day they so. Hey, don't touch my eleke. You may think they pretty, but to me it's not for play. Power in my jewelry, clear the scene like an AK. Full body protection, looking clean.
Yeah, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! You done hit him, Baba. 10, 2, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. God. 20. Good day. Who this messing my count up? Alive for you, bruh. I told you we was gonna hit. Yeah. Shoot, I'm counting me and Baba out right now. I'm waiting on Sunday to come out, hit her. We good. She finding out right now. We checking in. Hold on. Good. About to hit him again.
Talk to him, Dr. Clark.
He called for the unity and the redemption of the African world.
Salute them honorable Marcus
We were
Garvey.
not ready to listen then.
They might not have been ready then.
There's wonder whether we are ready
Ain't no doubt about it.
to listen
We ready, baby.
now.
Let's go. Yeah. Flag fly high. Flag fly high. Flag fly high. Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If the flag fly high. Come on. My flag fly high. Flag fly high. My flag fly high. RBG's on the rise. All eyes will recognize my flag fly high. Hold it high. Let it fly. Rep those colors forever. Garvey will never die. On my 90, the throne ready, let's take a ride. Cats won't fix, men don't choose a side. This is the path for the warriors. Seldom travel yet and still vainglorious. Black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us. My flag fly high, flag fly high, my flag fly high. Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If your flag fly high. All eyes don't recognize the flag fly high. The red is for the blood. I got the best stock, the rest got sludge. The black is for the gods, melanated and elevated, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle, Africa everything first, the earth's navel. His Excellency put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG. Flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If your flag fly high, come on. My flag fly high, flag fly high, my flag fly high. RBG's on the rise, all eyes don't recognize my flag fly high. Been blind minds since 99. People army them know the time. I'll the drab on my design. We roll ready. Hard line, ain't no games with that red flame. Triple stage of that black bang. Revolution in my veins. Till we free, I won't change. And you can count on that like an abacus. Celebrate the victories and the challenges. It's deeper than social media statuses. This lifestyle full of nation building practices. Yeah. My flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high. Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If your flag fly high, come on. Flag fly high, flag fly high, my flag fly high. RBG's on the rise, all eyes will recognize the flag fly high. I represent that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. RBG, I'm about that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RBG, I'm about that red, 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 that black, 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 that green, green, green. RBG, I'm about that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RBG, baby. RBG, baby. Come on. Fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high. Ha! Shout out to all my RBGs worldwide. Doing this thing garbage style, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Flag fly high, my flag fly high. Come on.
Flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high. RBG's on the rise, all eyes gonna recognize. Flag fly high. Yeah. Black power. Black power. Oh, it's so for real, y'all. It's so for real.
And yeah, I have to drop a bomb real quick. Peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Do Not Radio Place for Now. Your host, here in the building for part 2 of this interview / interrogation / all up in my business.com.
All up in your business.
All up in your business.com. Now I'm just a little jokey joke. But I'm honored to be here on the celebration of one of our brothers. You understand? I call him the greatest of all time because he's in the category unto himself and by himself. None other than my brother Tahir RBG. So set it off like that because he had to set it off like that. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some present to others and welcome back to her platform, okay? Because when she come here, she take over. It's a wrap. You understand what I'm saying? When she come here, she take over, to the world, Mrs. Fontaine, but my sister and one of my guides along this path of clarity and self-discovery and self-mastery, the one and only Mama 28. What I said, 87 hours out of the day, Mama 87 hours out of the day. Sitting there out there, aka Mr. Fontaine. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's a pleasure to be back for part 2, so we can get a little bit more in depth with knowledge and get all up in his business. Let me stop. I'm just messing. We ain't gonna get up all in his business, but yeah, we're gonna talk about these books, what's on the horizon, shall I say.
One of my heroes over there on Instagram, one of the illest to ever pick up a pen, Westmore's own, Chicago's own, Deaf Poet's own, award-winning poet, Red Storm out of Chicago. Shout my brother out real quick. One of the illest to ever do it with a pen. Okay, that's who be checking in on your brother from time to time. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna be quiet until you ask me a question.
All right, so let's talk about your digital ebooks. You've chosen to focus on digital ebooks, and I want to know, why was that important to you?
I think we kind of discussed it before, but they were written with my children in mind, right? They were written with my children in mind. That's one part. But the other part, I was on Philip Preach Podcast. I do a show over there every Wednesday, Word Preach on Wednesday. So check it out, Philip Preach on YouTube and building the channel over here. I asked one of the Royal Priesthood members, Niru the Fourth Fuji, shout out to her. This was for her and the fam in the Astronaut Collective this past weekend in Maryland, having big fun with the wretched. You understand what I'm saying? Having big fun with the wretched out there. And I asked her, I said, who is the person that you picture when you're writing? When you're writing and when you're crafting things together, who is that person? Describe to them in as much detail as possible. And she did. And when I thought about who I write for and who I'm writing for, a little black boy, about 7, 8 years old. 7, 8 years old, and he has a gift to be able to share the visions and the dreams, the hopes, and the desires with the people that he meets. He's 7, 8 years old. He could look at a person and see their future, and he can advise them on their future just from the look. Right? He's obedient enough between the seen world and the unseen world to be able to tell them their future accomplishment and help them prepare on how to get there. But every time you tell somebody something, they tell them that's not how it works. Because he's 7, 8 years old. So they look at him like a child and not as the divine instrument that's here to help them via this child. Right? So you just look at him and relegate him to the 7, 8 year old. So when I'm writing, I picture him. I'm writing and I picture him, and I believe I shared a little bit of that on there in that regard because I see him, right? And I see how many times, no matter how real, how true a voice what he says comes to pass for them, they reject him because of how he physically appeared. So he physically appeared as a young child. So they cast him to the side. So 78 years old, and I write for him. I write for him so he doesn't come to the point where he meets ultimate dissatisfaction and he no longer wants to use the gifts and the talents and the skills and complete the mission or the task that he's sent here on the planet, because every time somebody tells him, that's not how it works in real life. Or they look out, you'll figure it out when you get older, or you'll see, I can't wait to this many years go by and we get to see, because we want to see people in squalor and misery, because this is what we've attracted to ourselves. And so we project that onto this young man. So when I write for him, I write these love letters to him for him to be able to see what you're seeing is not in vain. People have accomplished these things in different facets. So continue on to speak life, because if not, then you begin to question your existence. You begin to question why you're here. So for all those young 7, 8-year-old, these children, the parents of the children, the grandparents of the children, the great grandparents of the children, who are these visionaries, who are these star seeds, who are these beings that are here, regardless of their stature or their time in the physical world. They have these gifts. They have these gifts that they're here to share. Somebody has to speak for them and speak to them and prepare the world for their arrival, right? So they don't think that their existence is in vain, and they stop coming. You understand what I'm saying? So at 7, 8, he's like, if I keep getting all these rejections, what am I doing here? What's my purpose for being here, right? So all of us have asked ourselves that question one way or another, and we found some artful means to justify our existence on the planet. So imagine if you already had the roadmap. Imagine if you already had the blueprint. Imagine if you already could understand who this child ancestor is that's reincarnating in the physical world, their mission, their aims, their goals, their objectives, and what they're here to accomplish, and what you are to learn from them, right? So writing in hopes that this family structure returns back to the business of family and regards family in the most righteous and sanctified manner, right? So that's why I envisioned with who I write for. And they aren't carrying around 20 books. They're not me. I was a child. I carry around 20 books, and I have nothing to do with no class or nothing like that. I was just in those books. I was in my brother's books, my sister's books. I was in everybody a book. Like I said, I believe a couple weeks ago, my mother figured out if I had a book in my hand, the world was safe. If I didn't, the world was in trouble. So our children are looking at reading like the thing that can help them escape in time travel to any time period in the time space continuum, past, present, or future, and be there, present in the moment, via this book. Like it's a daunting task, and they're sick of it because it's inundated to them like work. They're not seeing themselves, they're not hearing about themselves, they're not learning about themselves. There's nothing that includes them in it, but they're graded on the ability for them to be able to retain something that has nothing to do with them, and it won't help them in life. You understand what I'm saying? So the things that they dream of and the education that they're learning are two separate paths when they're supposed to be the same path. What you see in your head, you're supposed to be able to go look it up and be more inspired, and then be even more inspired to see proof that somebody who looked just like you walked on this path. Then you could go in your family and see somebody in your family did this before you. So this is an inheritance, right? So you make the past, the present, and the future present in the moment, in the empowerment and now. So the modality of the ebook gives them the ability to pick up the device that they already own and utilize it in a manner that's empowering versus how its intended use is right now, to be something that's derogatory, degrading, or separate from them.
I most definitely ask that question again, but the most profound thing that I want the audience, the viewers, people to grasp from that question that was repeated is the passion, the simple fact that you don't have to think, the simple fact that this flows, it means that this is meaningful work, something that you poured your time, energy, heart into for the babies, ultimately, first and foremost, for the babies. So to me, that is profound. That is why I definitely wanted to stress that question again, because this is your work and we're talking about your work as it relates to the digital ebook. So I definitely want to, show that, highlight that because like I said, it just flowed naturally. You know what I'm saying? You might not even gave exactly the same answer, and that's how you know it's genuine. That's how you know everything that you're talking about is pure as it relates to the intent and the reason why you started this journey. Um, so I know you plan on offering some workbooks in the near future. What made you want to add that aspect to go along with the digital ebooks?
Well, that's a great question. One of some of the books have questions, and they have reflective questions on them for you to think. But there isn't a workspace for you to work out what you think. Like these are reflective questions. They could be rhetorical, or there are aspects in to engage your mind in a manner, way for you to think. But through your guidance, I mean, Mama Gavette is bookable. Okay, she's bookable. If you have children somewhere and you don't know how to utilize or have the articulation or the curriculum or the bandwidth to be able to do it, she can give you a customized pathway back into the lives of discovering the proper learning styles and the implementation from an academic, that's practical perspective with your children. Like we just drop our children off to the devil's playground and hope that they come back godlike. You understand what I'm saying? Like they have
Right.
an objective, they have an agenda with our children. If these are our future, and Whitney Houston was correct, the children are our future. If we're here for the babies, our goal is to teach the babies. What are we teaching them? What are we giving them? Are we giving them the right foods or the wrong foods? You understand what I'm saying? So who we allow access to our children, who we allow them to be around, what other children we allow them to be around. There are labeling models and psychology that's associated with whom they interact with. Because they leave from home and come back with some terminology. You're like, where you get that from? Oh, I heard it in school. Oh, yeah, such and such. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they become a thing, or they get attached to one of the teachers in the school, and then all of a sudden, whatever they say is gospel, right? So now they arguing with you about what their teacher said about that, da, da, da. So every year, from that process of dealing with that with my older children, I went through that process. You see what I'm saying? I went through that process with the teachers and the school and all of those things. So the workbook enables you the ability to be able to sit with yourself and begin the process of capturing your thoughts, your own thoughts. Aside from an assignment that's work that you have to take home that you're supposed to have accomplished in school, you got to bring home work after being in school for 8 to 10 hours. Now you got to bring that work home.
Mm-hmm.
They stretched out 2 hours worth of work over an 8 hour time span. Then they got the audacity to have you bring something home, and then you got 3 to 4 hours worth of work after that. So the workbook gives you something at your own pace, something at your own leisure for you to be able to look at some of the things that went over in more in-depth detail to discover and answer for yourself.
Yes, it is. So, hmm, your work isn't just for individual families, it also supports organizations. How can community groups or new organizations use your materials? Uh-oh, think he might have fell off.
Here, the centuries of loneliness were to end.
Your collection of Leonardo da Vinci masterpieces, Mr. Flint. They appear to have been recently painted on contemporary canvas with contemporary materials.
Then, age, death, the taste of dust. Do you understand?
You wanted a perfect, ultimate woman. As brilliant, as immortal as yourself. Your mate for all time.
Merkaba master. I charter demons to other worlds, drive devils to plaster. Rush them to hell, breathing asthma. Place Satan on gurneys next to Hermes. Send them off to their journey to Cleopatra. They read those chapters, egos captured. The Leo laughter, neoplasma. Run through my veins in this matrix, and my basement became a plaza. And now I'm in the Sky Lounge with negative spirit hackers. Build on math and we read the chapters. Observe through our windows at the quiet disasters. Riots at NASA, marches, gender pride, freedom rights for the masses. Till we do away with first and second citizen classes. Religion is backwards, trying to comprehend to the pastor. This gym is like Jasper. Either we all live and strive for the youth to survive, or it all ends with the rapture. Forget waiting on the man, I'm making a plan. And for the ages of false statements, I'm taking a stand. Start an investigation on Satan with a cross in my hand. Make him plead guilty, now face the jury. We're in the courts of I am. If I could just vanish from off the planet, like magic, become caught from granite. Days, mathematics is understanding.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Oh, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
A billion stories in the naked city. Ghost told me that his best friend needs a kidney. We froze, reminisce of Tiffany in the cold. Open whiskey from the 20s in the memory. Sympathy made the angels play a symphony. Said he could have had a scholarship. Toured different colleges. Now he's out of it, fading away slowly on dialysis. His name remained anonymous, but here's my acknowledgements. Street legends and hood guards. Kingdom fall into a mirage. Ghetto depression sets in. Then we place weed and cigars. A child has difficulties concentrating. From where he lives, he sees his promises fading. He sees his pops gone, his mom's is aging. She trying to stay strong for a church congregation. And meanwhile, a kid named Rico was the coke king. A lot of siblings of the dope fiends hope you scream. A lot of children with broken dreams, homes were clean. The most extreme, you got rich and what you sold to queens. Look what you did to Josephine. And Ebony is unheavenly. The devil's ready with open wings. As Lucifer uses love and his youthful mug. Then his blood on the cobra's fangs.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Oh, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
Through the mid.
All right, so the question is, how can community groups or new organizations use this material?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Wonderful question. I'm telling you. If y'all need questions too, y'all know what to ask somebody when you about to interview them. She's bookable, okay? Remember that
Wow.
very bookable.
Wow.
Utilize her talent, skills, and gifts, okay? Some of the questions is raggedy out here. Just saying, for the record. So, with the instance like community groups, new organizations out there, there's a lot of improper propaganda that's out here. And instead of us utilizing the momentum of proper and improper propaganda to our advantage, we just cast it to the side, right? So I saw something the last couple of days with this guy who is what they deem a fake Black Panther, right? Calling themselves Black Panther, they call themselves Black Panther Party, and they showed up against ICE agents and all that. So all of the time is spent, and I say spent because it's not being circulated, right? It's being stuck in one place. So the emphasis on this guy being a fake, this guy being an agent, this guy being a provocateur could be properly utilized explaining who the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense was and is, some of the things that they did. And some of those things are out there, right? The new Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. So a lot of that information. And the formations who have organized around the symbol of the Panther or the modality of the Panther should utilize this time talking about their organization, right? So with the Sankofa effect, for instance, one of those volumes deals with Black political thought and organization in detail. So it gives you a chance, if you are a community group or an organization that's new, to see what new organizations look like, what some of the challenges that they face, the startups, what some of the things that would evolve, historically and present day. So all of these movements that we're utilizing this sledgehammer sort of approach to try to squash, instead of utilizing the momentum to educate the young people, because the young people are attracted to some of these modalities, right? Revolution is in the hands of the young. 2 volumes are dedicated, in addition to the Sankofa effect, that deals with that specifically. Volume 3 and volume 4 deals with that specifically. Each one of the people that are named, whether you recognize them pictorially or image, or you hear their name and you hear that, you can go do your research. You can go do your research and formulate your perspective based off of research evidence and not just hearsay and sensationalism. So the new community organizations and groups can utilize these volumes as political education tools. And then family organizations can look within their family dynamics and utilize them to build a bridge into the articulation about their family. You and I both dealt with the power of the Black family. You see what I'm saying? Dynamic and what it is and what it doesn't shy away from. It's not a utopian approach to Black family. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly of Black family, based upon occupation, based upon being dismembered, right? We got to remember in Osea, one of the greatest volumes in regards to Black family on the planet, right? It does not shy away from the deficits and gives you a plan of implementation for you to be able to go back in that Sankofa effect and fetch your family, fetch your legacy, fetch your future, and atone for those misdeeds and miscalculations that came along with the physical experience. You see what I'm saying? So now these new organizations and these community groups can glean from that because they're composed of family. That's who joins organization, right? That's who joins these groups, whether it's from an ideological perspective, a spiritual, or religious, or political aspect, they can be there, right? So the homeschooling networks, anybody that has more than one person, any ranks can benefit. And even the individual can learn about yourself as well from that perspective, right? One of my nephews, right? Kahim, he was talking about buying one yesterday. He was like, Uncle Knowledge, I think this is good because, I have an idea about being an entrepreneur. Buying one, it's for entrepreneurs, right? So you're talking about maybe this can help me, with some ideas, for my books and, for what I want to design as far as this. And, he's a young man. So automatically he read through this volume. That volume was on 19 pages. And after 19 pages, he was able to deduce that, oh, this gives you ideas, this gives you resources. Oh, the challenges was there. It wasn't 55 hours long, so I was engaged the entire time. You got pictures, you got this. So this young man is like breaking it down to me. You understand what I'm saying? And no limited time about what he got from the volume. So I'm like, mission accomplished. Again, this young
monetary.
Right there. He telling me the truth. You know, my sons, they told me the truth. Like, I get around to it, Daddy. I said, yo, it's only 19 pages. It's like, oh, I'm about to check it out right now. So now they're like, yeah, my daddy write books. What your daddy do? You understand what I'm saying? So it's a different kind of space in regards to it. So yeah, the family is supposed to be able to benefit from it. It's made with them in mind. It's made for young Black children, for Black families as a whole in mind. Particularly geared towards the youth. Particularly geared towards the youth, so they can fall in love with learning and fall in love with learning about themselves again, despite the negative propaganda war that's targeted specifically at Black families.
All right. I mean, some of this kind of coincides with what you just already spoke within answering the last question. However, one thing I want to say before I ask the question is if you can also focus on a specific volume that is geared to this particular question. Because as you said, you have different volumes that cover various topics. So the question is, if someone is starting a homeschool co-op or an educational group, how can your books help them build structure and consistency?
Well, shout out to the Iron Soft for Hip Hop. I seen him check in. The one and only Killer Priest in the building. Okay, make sure I go.
Peace.
I run his channel up, and even for him, for instance, right? When I did volume two is dedicated to the Black women. I asked him if I could utilize his song off of Mother about his mother, for the soundtrack, because I wanted her voice to be the first voice that you heard when you open in the volume and you're talking about 100 Black women who changed the world, right? So this negative, improper propaganda campaign war that's being utilized and funded with an endless budget to distort our view of Black womanhood, Black girlhood, and Black motherhood in particular is something that is distressing to me. And in the end, we have the interview where we go through the album, and I said, how in the world, I'm gonna be respectful, mama here, you understand what I'm saying? Could mother ever be relegated to birthing person and the world not be set ablaze? Everybody has a mother. Everybody, every living thing on the planet has a mother. You understand what I'm saying? How could you not be incensed and see this attack on mother, birthing person, as if there's another person on the planet that can give birth? Like you got birthing person. You understand what I'm saying? And all of this foolishness is out there. You could identify however you want to identify, but you cannot supersede the womb that bore you. You understand? Like the womb that carried you in gestation. Like there's no one in heaven or hell that I could sit idly by and allow this to happen. So I'm like, all right, I'll put this volume out. But I wanted this volume to, represent the sanctity and the righteousness in the midst of all the calamity that's out here that's going on. So, if you looked at, one of these homeschool co-ops and you look in the age range, they're teaching these quote unquote alternative lifestyles to our children in preschool. It's like a requisite. They in kindergarten and they got these transformers coming to the school. You understand what I'm saying? Coming to the school without your consent, without your permission. You don't even know anything about it. They putting 2 moms and 2 dads in the books. And why do these children need to know about this?
Yes.
Right. So that is something that we take issue with in that regard. In regards to this, so the earlier the access, the more righteous or the more derelict you become. So if you have some of these homeschool or these homeschool co-ops or some of these Saturday schools, Sunday schools, weekend schools, after school programs, before school programs, these are implementation tools for you to be able to sift through the muck and the mire and prepare the imagination for what's unalike. We give them what's alike, and then they go to these death camps and learn what's unalike. And they can come back and they can understand the difference between the two. So, we're preparing their mind to be able to face that, because if we haven't prepared them in that manner, then we leave them subject and they come back subjected, right? And then their existence becomes subjective. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, we dealing in the space of intersect, right? Not an intersection, but intersectionality in regards to what is something that's a basic law of nature, right? Your bones will tell you if you were male or female. I don't care what you called yourself while you was living. Your bone structure, right? So divine already had this divine intelligence in place, right? So the essence of what's quintessential to life and to what's life affirming and what's connected to future is already laid, right? It's already laid out for you. So these volumes enhance that and look at those spaces and not, come to a place where it's the end all be all. It's a place for you to begin to have the discussion, or have the build, or to, look at those things critically. So the co-ops prepare you for life. The co-ops, they prepare you for life. So it should be dealing with those things that affect you in regards to life and livelihood.
All right. So as it relates to your books, what does it mean for you to have your books being used in a group setting and group learning spaces? What does that mean for Knowledge Born?
Give me 1 second, real quick. I'll be right back. Right back.
Yo, peace and black power. It's your brother Knowledge Born Live. Doula Knowledge Radio. The place where knowledge is born. Knowledge Radio. This is 3K. Think Tank. This is 3K. Hey. This is 3K.
I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. It's where I swear that knowledge is born. Who ran, who ducked, who drew down, return fire. We're the warriors, the healers, enlighten us. I'm tired of the same old, that game old with an upgrade. I'm a sunbathe in the sun rays while my guns blaze and they come play. Devil, my level not attainable. My metal not malleable. I'm a man, didn't need that manual. Reparations is incalculable. Yeah, we want it in blood. Dead in the begging, heading to beheading. Metal to the meddling. Members is aggressive. Getting to the Armageddon. Karma, seem calmer when it comes to retribution. Caliber, catalyst in my clips and I use them on traitors and haters and the ones that spread confusion. Cause the devil's playground wasn't built for our amusement. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days. You gon' need a strong counter, spin like Beyblade. Impenetrable armor, Orient aura. This story, this saga, get gory before it get calmer. Keep holding that revolutionary posture. 85 gon' dip and dodge it, but when they get monster, they turn into MC Light, earrings, and become door knockers. I'm irate, they pirate the culture, send them to Davy Jones' locker. It's okay. Let them think that you lost it. Be patient, this type of thing you can't force it. Play possum, but nah, not know about the road that they can't comprehend cause the language is coded. We plan ideas and we plan explosives. Make your pockets go for more bits of more bread. The portal done open, they can't close it. You ain't got a sideline, you can cause more risk. No set birth date, no Dorian Gray portraits. It's about to get ugly if these devils can't forfeit. Ancestral memories, so no, I won't forget. What we building is an impenetrable fortress for sure. Every show is just like a courtship, and my flow for sure tighter than your gal's corset. It's okay. We are the source, you can't outsource it. Even Spartans don't want no parts, Nev. What do you know? Before you know it, 3,000 wild Africans at your doorstep. Hey, meet me at the guard hour. Hey, in these strange days, you gon' need a strong counter. Spin like Beyblade. No, we will not cower while the rest they play safe. We will move with God's power. This is not for play. Honor my ancestors, play the Ori A day. Peace to you, loved ones, stay dangerous and stay safe. AKAs and AKs coming to make their caves cave. Wreck the race like take case, stay dangerous and stay safe.
Brothers just walk up on me, and they're just like, you know, you can just see the hunger in their eyes. Like as soon as you know what I mean? They was like, yo, you know, we a group, and we think that you would fuck with us, and you know, I'm telling you, like, we nice, and just give us a fucking chance type of shit, you know?
Yeah, my bad. Partner, technical difficulties. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Good to go. So y'all saw one of the intros for Do the Knowledge Radio, and at the end, you heard Lord Jamal talking about discovery, and he discovered a group we know as Dead Prez, 25 years ago, before Let's Get Free came out. So he discovered that group along with other groups, but you asked about the group dynamic utilizing these ebooks, and I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing to be able to have something that you deemed a determined idea. Like I told you how long the process was in regards to what it was from a young man to a grown man in that regard, and growing up, right, and going back to that space and the same Kofa effect. This platform is 10 years old, right? So going back over 10 years, 4,000 episodes, and to be able to take little snapshots in regards to that, to put it all together, to know, like, all right, Cool Rock Ski from Run DMC. That was like 8 or 9 years old, listening to Run DMC. Not Run DMC, Fat Boys, pardon me. I'm about to get smacked by the hip hop community. Fat Boys, Cool Rock Ski from the Fat Boys, right? One of the first cassette tapes I bought with my own money back in the day. They're like, what's a cassette tape? But yeah, I bought it with my own money, right? To be able to build with him, to be able to build with Curtis Blow, my brother Hakeem Green from around the way from the neighborhood, Channel Live, to build with him, and to have him come on, the 10-year anniversary and give me my Arsenio Hall moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, he performed live. So if you go back and look through the 10-year Cypherversary archive, one portion of it is him performing. I thought he just came and give a little sit down interview. Like, I grabbed the mic, it's like I'm about to rock, God. You understand what I'm saying? So you get in that zone, like a wise, intelligent, Sadat X, Yo-Yo, right? Marvelous from the West Coast. It's so many in the hip hop world. So the dynamic of hip hop being as one of those pieces of what the magnetic, that attracting sort of space, right? And you've seen award-winning poets over here, like you saw Georgia Me. I saw her on Deaf Poetry Game. You understand what I'm saying? What's my man name? Y'all seen, well, y'all didn't see him, but Red Storm over there, Abyss, in Westmore Drive, Big Rube, that was on the Dungeon Family albums. Y'all heard him on Outkast. Y'all heard him on Goody Mob albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people have graced this platform physically and virtually. It's countless, countless amount of data to be able to go through, right? So I can think about Tamir Rice, and then I can visualize Samaria Rice, his mother, because his mother has been on the platform. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, real connection to real life. So to think that any one of those groups, back to the question, right? If any one of those groups found value in what it is that we were able to put together over here to be able to deal with aspects of like survival, situational awareness, and so many of these other aspects. I mean, my heart is full. You understand what I'm saying? My wallet ain't necessarily full. My heart. You understand what I'm saying? My heart is full. You know what I'm saying? My heart runs over in regards to be able to reach those groups, to give them the proper insight to be able to begin a process of using the practical aspects of what is being revealed for their betterment. Overjoyed in that regard, because money, it flows and it goes. You understand what I'm saying? But impact is forever. So if you are able
It's
to
true.
with something that you had in your mind and in your heart space, then honest to the Most High, honest to my ancestors, and honest to our people, I still see us in the highest regard, indiscriminate to how we display ourselves at the time.
Yes, yes. You're also working toward creating courses. What inspired that next step?
As y'all can see, the questions get better and better, as the time, progresses. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Um, the courses become something for you to traverse. If you think about an obstacle course, it calls on different aspects of your being, right? So some aspects are physical, some aspects are mental, some aspects are emotional, some aspects of the obstacle course require all of those things to be in check in order for you to complete. You see what I'm saying? Because tide is a mental thing before it ever becomes a physical thing. So the physical follows the pattern of what's dealt in the spiritual and the mental. So if you aren't spiritually fit and mentally fit, physically fit is not going to do you any justice. It's going to get you to a certain point. But once you get to the point of exhaustion on these other levels, it's going to trickle down into the physical world. Now all of a sudden you're tired. You're like, I can't do it no more. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, the course is something for you to navigate, to get to a deeper aspect of self-discovery, to find out what's in you. Either you like it or you don't, right? I always give that aspect of that movie, the Omen, right? The little devil seed spawn was named Damien, and all these things was happening to him, right? And then he went and he looked in his hair in the mirror, and he seen 666 in his head. The next scene, he was all with it. Like it was like a little half a second where he was like, "Oh no, why?" And then the next thing he had all black on him, he was getting busy. You understand? So once you find out who you are in that space, either it's something that motivates you or something that detracts from you. So, with these courses, the goal is for you to learn about you. I was talking to my nephew, he told me all of the points of interest for him in the book, and I was like, "What do you learn about yourself?" And he took a second. He was like, that's a good question. Good question. I asked him who he remembered out of the volume 1, and I said if it was one person, who was the one person, and then what do you learn about yourself? So he told me the one person, it was LeBron James, right? For y'all who want to know. But then he started to talk about what he learned about himself. First, he said it was a good question because, again, you might look at his age and be like, "Oh, okay, what he know about life," type of situation, right? Versus what am I here to learn from this young ancestor, this young elder? You see what I'm saying? Based off of his travels and his insight in regards to life, because he's not bogged down by all of the things that bog us down. You know, we think suffrage is a badge of honor to it. So he don't have that. He's not fettered by those things, right? So he's looking at life from his perspective in a space of clarity, right? And you know, he told me those things in regards to what he learned about himself based off of that volume. So that, you know, a volume. Now, if a whole course is dedicated to a couple of these ideas, like your narrative, right? Like your family story. You know, you could do a family documentary and discover things you ain't never learned about your family, and you've been around them your whole life. Been around them your whole life. So imagine a course that's designed for you to walk with you step by step, hand in hand, in regards to what that means. Like back to the power of the black family. You could have been black your whole life and know nothing about it other than, okay, all I gotta do is stay black and die, right? You know, that's the colloquialism. And I pray that that's not the only aspiration in regards to your life. But if you don't know nothing, no better than that, then that's what you're gonna do. I don't gotta do nothing but be black and die. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, there has to be more. And if there's not more readily available to you, there are options for them to be made readily available to you, to you and for you. So, in regards to the courses, the motivation behind it was to be able to have something of working value and substance that celebrates Black life and, you know, becomes a space as a reminder to Black people that you being who you are is enough. You don't have to be anything else or anyone else.
I think we all know the answer to this question as well, but just in case those of us watching don't, who are these courses for? Is it for educators, parents, students, or is it all of the above?
I think it's all of the above, but I'll explain. You know, I'll explain the categories that you put in, you know, uh, for the parents, right? For the parents who are of the idea that there was no, you know, instructions, you know, taped to your behind when you came out of the womb. If you run with that, then that's what you'll see it as. Like, oh, okay, I'm just trying to figure this thing out. That's not true. Our children come with the best of us already. And then they come with their own path of self-discovery. So they come here not to learn, but they come here to remember. They come here to remember. And they come to build bond and trust with you. They got the best of you. So they know your BS too. You understand what I'm saying? So they spend most of their time observing to see what's right and what's wrong. But for the parents who are unaware of this, we have a duty and responsibility to be able to be proper guides along the pathway of those children who our ancestors returned. They're here on a mission to complete a task when it asks that their previous generation before them didn't get the chance to complete. You know, you're included in that benefit. So for the parents who want to reconnect with their children and the children who want to reconnect with their parents, this volume is for them. These volumes are written for them. So to recognize if your children have these aspects, if they're a master builder, you want them around some folks that are mathematicians, that are scientists, but then also in the space of physical builders who build structures. So they're there and they're learning from the theoretical aspects, but also the physical aspects. If you have some, you know, military children, you want them in the military environment. You want them around military-minded people to be able to deal with that Monica of what it means to go through a soldierization process. But you also want them with deep thinkers, and you want them in a space around nurturers so they don't become cold-hearted and just militaristic. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these environments are things that are necessary in regards to the learning styles and the learning models that come along with that. So all of these things are in parenting. We're in Works with another volume that deals in around with rites of passage and rites of passage for childhood into adulthood and adulthood into parenthood and parenthood into grandparenthood. So we can share these lived experiences in regards to these transitions as well. Because once a child is born, everybody in the environment gets a promotion. Everybody in the family gets a promotion. Everybody else becomes something else based off of this child or these children that come in. So now there's a responsibility associated with you, right? Whether you family or extended family. You could become godparents in that all of a sudden. You understand what I'm saying? So there has to be a space where these things are kind of ironed out in regards to expectation from your cultural vantage point. Because, as Dr. Mimani put so eloquently, a people's culture is their immune system. So if you have an immune system in your body, it's to fight off these things that are foreign entities or agents that are looking to attack the body. So this cultural mainstay that exists in regards to this space of parents, right? Because then we get into educators. So you have a relationship in regards to the family because if there are no children, nobody's coming to your school, right? So now you have a relationship between the children who have parents, grandparents, great grandparents, and the like to come into this environment to challenge their mind in regards to what their future is going to be in the realm of academia, right? So the teacher and the student body become critical in regards to relationship because who are going to be the teachers who teach the next generation, right? So the teachers in that regard become extended family members as such because this is where their replacements come from as well. So nobody wants to be a teacher anymore. Who's going to do the teaching? You understand? So if you create an environment of utter disdain and disregard for children, then none of the children are going to grow up and want to be in that position. Or if they do, you're going to be the only vantage point that they know, and they're going to think, okay, this is what the teacher does. So the scientists, the doctors, the lawyers, the counselors, the therapists, whomever is needed within the framework of the society, we have to build those institutions that address the immediate needs of the society, right? So you're not just a plumber, you're a black plumber. If you're not just a electrician, you're a black electrician. You understand what I'm saying? So these are all things that work for the good of your own mind frame in regards to who you out here representing, who you're out here for. I know folks want to just relegate things to just careers without no other. They already know who you are when you come there. You understand what I'm saying? And they already treat you as such. So there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change that. So if you know that unions came from black women, if you knew unions came from black women, you would be asking questions like, wait a minute. If black women started this, where the black women at in these unions? All right. So now we have to look at, okay, who's benefiting from these unions and these trades and all this other stuff. And then you're like, all right, why is there a 700% deficit in regards to skilled labor? Why is it like a need for 700,000 crafts workers in skilled labor for the future? And what could we do to address those particular needs, right? We have to grow up a generation or two of those who find benefit or display those talents and gifts as an inclination to be able to go into those fields and address those concerns. Because these are all of the things that are needed within the nation, but they're not out in the forefront. So the benefit comes in regards to seeing those things in that manner to where we can assess what's needed in the society and begin to assign certain things to the family, and the families could look in their children's space and be able to say, okay, we need this is what we need, right? So this is who they become, and this is their benefit to our future generations.
Well, the beauty of how I structured these questions was to make sure I didn't miss out on anything, but the beauty of your answers, you go in depth. And I love that. So we're gonna skip past some and we're gonna go into I want to talk about for parents, educators, or organizers listening who feel called to do better for their children and communities. What would you say to them right now? If you could just say a statement.
They want to do better for their children. If you haven't seen better or know better, you can't do better. You have to have a framework, proper examples, and guidance on what better is to be able to see what better is. And a caveat to that is you have to know where you are in the moment. Where you are right now. So if you like, all right, I want to do better. Where are you right now? What level? Like what's the metrics you're utilizing to say this is where I am? I'm at a 3 and I want to get to a 6. When do you want to get to a 6 by? Are you prepared to do what's necessary to rise the occasion of a 6? Do you have 7 6s in your network that you could utilize as a support system to build up to that? Because you had a 3. So more than likely, you might know a 4 or 2, 1, and a bunch of zeros. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to do better, then you have to see better, you have to know better, then you have to do the work that's necessary in order to be better. But you have to have a support system that is challenging you to rise up to a 4, to a 5, to a 6. And then being dutiful to the timeline. But the timeline has to be realistic. You can't be like, I want to be a 6 tomorrow and 3. So knowing that space in regards to that. So that one statement is you have to know better in order to be better.
All right, thank you, thank you. And as we're wrapping up, before we close out, I have like 2 more questions to end off with. But I want to say that I appreciate the work that you put into these volumes. I appreciate the whole reasoning behind why you did it. Even with me opening the books and reading them, I do enjoy the practicality of it. The simple fact that it is practical to me. Like I said, you designed these books with us in mind. So for that, I'm forever grateful. You already know, like I said, it's gonna be implemented with my baby. So um I want to say duau to you for creating these pieces of work that will forever be, etched in history, and that hopefully we can look back, 10 years from now and see the transformation within the youth that has access to these books today, who have access to these courses in the future, who have access to these workbooks that they'll be able to utilize and make a lot of this information more practical. So again, I want to give you your flowers and tell you thank you for the work that you are putting into these books, the time that it takes. Like you said, it does take a lot of time. And for those of you that don't know, if you do want to discuss that, my next question before I end, I guess I have three more. Can you discuss the time and the work ethic that it takes to push these pieces of work out that we are able to enjoy?
I'm gonna pull up an example so you can see, because I'll be out here pontificating, right? And I could just show you an example, right? I'll show you Sankofa effect. Just let me know when you can
Okay.
see it.
All right. I can see it.
So this is Sankofa effect. Lessons from movements across America, right? I referenced it earlier, so I'd rather show something I referenced. And it's 12 books in this ebook series, with more to come. I'm finishing up and finalizing up volume 9 of Voices of the Diaspora. And it's, how to tell your own Black story, right? So this is Sankofa effect, right? This is one of the standalone volumes. I have volumes 1 through 8 in the Voices of the Diaspora series. So, with the question in regards to what it takes, just look at the cover. You see what I'm saying? You heard that it's a book. I use a software system for it to look and feel like a book, and then the attention to detail in regards to the pictorial images, down to the Sankofa bird. Like, I wanted you to see what this is. Sankofa effect. What's that? What does Sankofa mean? What kind of bird is it? A Sankofa bird. So your wheels are already turning from the beginning. As soon as you open up the page and you see the table of contents, you want to see exactly where you want to go, and you can go to each page, right? So the cover, the color, the wording. It's not 1,000 words on the page. It's spaced so you can catch a breath in between. Blah blah blah. All of these things are things that I learned along the way. So, the first 5 volumes I outsourced to my brother D Banks. D Banks Designs, and he did an amazing job in regards to the illustration. And around volume 6, I wanted to see my vision come to life. So volume 6 looks a lot different than some of the later volumes, because I was learning on my own. I learned on my own to strive to figure it out. So volume 6 is literally my volume 1. 1 through 5 I wrote, but I did not illustrate. Volume 6 to forward, every jot and tittle that's there, I did myself. You see what I'm saying? So learning along the way with the imagery, learning along the way with, the trial and error type of situation, and then, aspects in regards to color, pictures, text, and music. So this is a song from United Front that I wanted to include.
Us against the world and all bets is off. Grab a machete, get ready, it's time to get it on. Call up your peeps, get the heat.
So your mind is engaged, your eyes are engaged, and you want to look further. You see what I'm saying? So all of these aspects are important, right? So you see different sort of some of the same people you saw in the previous volumes, but now it's like, you looking at this. Oh, Malcolm X. Oh, who's this guy next to him? Elijah Muhammad. Who's that? You understand? So what's the Nation of Islam? So, so you get the chance to get some of the highlights, some of the challenges, and some of the global impact. So again, putting things in categories so you don't have to deal with, a lot of these aspects, by themselves. You got it all together sort of condensed in a volume, right? So, Church of God in Christ, right? That's a major religious organization in the Black community. You know that got roots that go back to the 1800s, right? Some people may never know that. They just grew up and they typecast Black church in one category. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're looking to build a workable model, you got to think of these aspects in regards to it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, you know, he's looking back. He's having his own Sankofa effect. He's looking ancestrally, right? So he might be a firefighter, for instance, and thought that, okay, like this was my only hope, or this is the only people that took me. Like, nah, he don't know how destined he was to want to have been a firefighter or somebody in the military, and you know what these aspects look like in that regard. So he's looking back in his ancestry to derive strength from an experience that looked tumultuous. So when he's faced with a challenge, getting somebody out of a fire or being a first responder on the scene, he doesn't know what he's going to walk into, but he's prepared to walk into. You see what I'm saying? So if we're looking to build organization, if we're looking to build tomorrow, we have to deal with the challenges that come along with it. So we can look at these workable models and see if these are models that are viable options to us, or we like, nah, I'm good on that. You understand what I'm saying? So again, we spoke about the Panthers earlier, right? We got Dr. Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, right? And then we have the challenges that they face, the counter, intelligence program. You see what I'm saying? So that space of counterinsurgency that monitored, spied, and used divisive and illegal means to break up Black organization. So to know that you're going to build a Black organization, understand these are one of the challenges, right? So just, kind of going through and showing, historical to present. You see what I'm saying? Historical to present. That's Oyatunji Village. You see what I'm saying? So this place is standing right there, in South Carolina. You understand? So like you can literally go to these places or go to some of these people, and these are long-standing Black organizations that exist, and you can look at them and to be able to see, what's something that's viable. So again, reflection question, right? All these things are challenge. So being that deliberate, being that intentional adds time and space. You see what I'm saying? But when you're flowing, you're flowing. So literally for me to make something happen like this, it takes no limited time, but all the time in the world at the same time, because you're writing with these people in this mind that exists in mind.
All right. And I know you have your link displayed at the bottom, but I wanted to ask, where can people find your books, workbooks, and stay connected with what you're building next?
So you can get the books from me directly either from two of my websites. The website is dotheknowledge.com and also dotheknowledgeradio.com, but dotheknowledge.com has all of the volumes, and you could get them from me directly. I got the 12 ebook bundle special sale going on right now. You can get all 12 volumes for $50. So if you hit me up on this ticker you see going across, Cash App or PayPal, and leave your email in the subject, column, I'll send them to you ASAP. There's a lot of scammers and jammers out here, but I'm not one of them. Okay, you get what you're paid for. Get what you're paid for.
Oh goodness. He's not. Like I said, as soon as you send him that link, you will receive those books. And lastly, before we end with my interrogation of knowledge born Allah, what keeps you going on days when the work feels heavy? if it feels heavy at all, you know. But on the days where the work feels heavy, because you do a lot within the community, we're putting these books together, courses. Um, I could keep going on, but you do a lot. So what keeps you going on the days when it's heavy?
Me going, me not sitting still. One of the things that I learned about myself is if I'm somewhere for too long, I get a little stir crazy in that way. So I'm out and about on the move. So on the
Mhm.
move, I'm I'm better, you know, because you can get used to a modality of just sitting and creating, but you're creating in a vacuum. You're creating in your own world. You're creating in your own cave. You
Mhm.
know, shout out to Ty Phoenix. Ty Phoenix, I was asking her about high vibration hip hop and what she created. And this is what she was speaking about. If you only want to do it for yourself, nobody else wants to hear it, right? Nobody else will hear it, right? And shout out to my brother Oba Adedayo. He talked about the vulnerability of an artist, like what it means for an artist to give you access to something that they created, because they create for themselves. They create in their own world. So they paint, they draw, you know, if they rhyme, if they write, whatever the case may be, it's for themselves. So if they give this to you and give you access to it, then it, you know, it's no longer theirs now. It's yours. So the mission of creating sacred spaces where Black people's lives are celebrated for the fact that they're them. They don't become somebody else. They don't have to cosplay. They don't have to put on no costumes or nothing extra. They can just be themselves. Like little Black children can grow up in a society that I envision where there are no degenerates, right? There are no strange people that are looking at them like they want to have a intimate relationship with them. That space is eradicated, you know. So the degenerates, the bums, the grifters, the pretenders, and all of the ones who create the social ills of the society are eliminated. So those Black children and the Black society is not burdensome by internal and external threats and forces that are there to erode the society from the inside. That's a motivation. And when you're on the move, you can see that. You can see that the internet has a narrative that they call an algorithm that programs your mind about how you see yourself. But you can program your algorithm by responding to things that you don't like and the things that you do like. So now it's learning you in that regard. So I don't have any issues with weird stuff that's on my virtual timeline. Because anytime I see it, I'm like, get this out of here. Get this out of here. All right, who posted that? All right, let me unfollow or whatever I need to do to, you know, keep
Remove
this
it.
in a realm of pristine, because I'm looking for Black people to celebrate. That's the only reason why I'm on social media. And one of those reasons as a motivation on the move, because there's so many people to celebrate. I'm telling you, like my camera memory card is filled up with stories. You understand what I'm saying? I went for an interview and ended up on somebody's track. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's so many opportunities out there on how it goes, because you're out there in the right space and energy, celebration and elevation, right? So people call to you and you call to people. So that's the modality and the mission, because it does get heavy. The work does get heavy, and burnout is real. You know, you could go through. I went through the process of a shutdown. You know what I'm saying? I was ordered to
Mhm.
go sit in the corner. You know, I was on timeout for like 9 10
Mhm.
months, and then when it was time to come back, I got a sign and a warning to come back. I was working with Steve Coakley uh, Jr., you know, the son of Steve Coakley. His birthday was just a couple of days
Mhm.
to the Capricorns out here. You know, staying rocking. It was yesterday, as a matter of fact. Him and his father born on the same day, the 17th. So June 17th and January 17th. So shout out to him and his family. I was working
Shout
at home
out.
to promote his work for the Black think tank over in Ghana, you know, in West Africa, and we were on Thorough Black Talk. Shout out to Thorough Black Talk, tag Keisha Ashe and all of the crew over there. And somebody was like, "Yo, Nana, what's up with the show, son?" You know, that's how they be talking. They be like, "Yo, son, what's up with the show, son?" I was like, people was listening. Like I was listening. It's like, yo, it's been a minute. I ain't heard this show, son. When the show coming back, son? So, you know, I went and you know I checked in, and it was time to come back, and that's how I ended up on YouTube. As a matter of fact, so it was just audio, you know, from audio to audio visual. It was time. So, you know, moving by divine appointment, and the foundational piece is my mother. You know, my mother said to me, "If I stop, she stops." So, what I'm gonna do? So the people from, you know, my ancestors, my elders, my peer group, and my youth, you know, my children, be like, it's a custom that my children know that I'm working. You understand what I'm saying? So they're working and I'm working, and we're working together. You see what I'm saying? So from my ancestors to my ancestors' return, you know, that's enough motivation within itself. But then every interaction that I have with somebody, whether it's positive, negative, or the like, is another motivation to keep going. There's spaces and places and people that I've been around from all different walks of life that have gleaned from this experience, that, you know, they walk away better than they came. And, you know, that's all the motivation in the world, despite the heavy load and burden that it appears at times. And is at times.
Yes, yes. Well, I appreciate you for allowing me to come interrogate you, Psycho.
Hey.
But I enjoy, you know, being able to delve into asking you why you create these books, these series, because, like I said, to me, this is meaningful work. I think the impact that this will have for the babies, for the next generation to come, is profound in itself. So I look forward to embarking on this journey with you and actually utilizing these tools and resources to help my babies as they navigate from childhood to adulthood. So again, thanks, and it was my pleasure in interviewing you for part 2. Thank you, thank you.
Well, thank you for your time, and really thank you for your questions, because I'm telling you, Derek, the response is only as good as the question. So if the responses were well and they were found favorable based off of the question, you know, so one of the things that I strive to do when sitting with somebody is to get as close to their heart and their mind as possible in this space of celebration, and to have them feel celebrated in that regard. And now I use the word interrogate, you know, but it was you know, tongue in cheek. But I don't interrogate people, not in this setting. Some other
No.
setting, yeah. It's not intrusive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's welcome with a space of love. I don't invite people here that I don't love or have love for. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for the questions. You know, thank you for the challenging of the question. You see what I'm saying? In the depth and the intent. You see what I'm saying? As well. And I'm excited for part 3, because I heard there's a part 3 in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I heard there's a part 3. I heard through the radar.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. You know, God's rap may come through. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a return for us. You never know.
I love it.
The future is bright, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes. So again, thank you, Brother Knowledge Born. Like I said, it was a pleasure as always.
Mm-hmm. So we up out of here, y'all. Thanks to Mrs. Fontaine, aka that bit. Okay, she is bookable. Okay, get your life right, get your curriculum together, get your weight up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
You can tell, COINTEL, my clique has never failed. My boat has never sunk, my ship has never sailed. My hope is never shaken, my spirit is never broken. My legs are never open, my words will always be quoted. My vision is focused. Tell the POTUS I don't trust him, he'll never be noticed. I think it's time that I put you all on notice. I'm the one, David Ruffin, I'll never be Otis. If I did it, then it better work. The music industry hates me cause I'll never twerk. I'm in a different world, each verse brings the metaverse. Optometrist, I change vision like the Oculus. Watch me fly over Metropolis. Tell all the populace, rise from sarcophagus. No hypothesis, I see apocalypse. Muhammad's disciple speaks like a prophetess. We got him like we got him like, yeah. We got him like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like. It's Neelam from the west, coming strong, Cali's best. We got 'em like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like.
See, I done came from the bottom. I usually choose peace, today we choose violence. And they don't really know what to do. And I'ma keep banging the truth. Lyrically impeccable, irrepressible spectacle. I can turn a vegetable into an intellectual. My ancestors celestial, go beyond the skeleton. Fact checking these rappers, none of these credible. If it don't apply to the fly, it's a hypothetical. It's just the type of that you kicking is unacceptable. If you're not helping me grow, I'm just not available. I want the whole left side of a decimal, incredible. I ain't even hardly reached my pinnacle. Jump in the cypher and turn it into a festival. Bang on the game till the game need medical. I'ma keep grinding till it's unpreventable. Middle finger, you haters, for that to be unprofessional. We are just not compatible. I am too undetectable. Put the pedal, the metal, hitting your mental. My pen penetrating your sensory. You looking terrible. Whoa, whoa, all I see is green light bulbs. East New York, Brooklyn, let it go. My light might be an iPhone. Third eye, I see the rival. See my arrival.
We got 'em like. We got 'em like. Yeah. We got 'em like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like.
It's that Nick from the East New York. We run the streets.
We got 'em like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like.
You know. We the creme de la creme. They give us accolades, but that's God working through us. We send praises up to Him. Brotherhood tight, sisterhood tight, nation building team players. We all shooting in the gym. Got the guys with me, got the FOI with me. If we gotta go to war, then we fighting to the death. Not a betting man, but if I was and you ask me who I put my money on, you know I'm putting it on them. Come through, they gotta respect, they gotta tip their hat. Don't disrespect our women, word bond, we'll kill for that. In the field working with bullets, fly like we in Iraq. I do this for the family, I rap, but this way deeper than rap. Stand up, solid soldiers with me, we don't back though. I don't deal with milk toast brothers like I'm lactose. Every time I come in first, they act like they was rooting for me. Whole time I know they wanted me to come in last though. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulallah. If it wasn't for you, I know I wouldn't have made it through Allah. Grant me protection on this mission that I pursue, Allah. I know what you behind me, there ain't nothing that I can't do, Allah. You know.
We got 'em like. We got 'em like. Yeah. We got 'em like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like.
It's GC from the shop. FOI till I die.
We got 'em like. Tell the people we coming through and we got 'em like. It's Neelam.
Knowledge bomb. What's the science, baby?
Yeah.